Aloha. This is my rescue dog. This is my rescue dog, Lightning. He's a good guy. Come here. Come on, come here. And I got another one. Skippy. Skip. Well, I can see he's running away. Why would that be? Because we're in Arizona. It's 105. It's 105 today at 5:30. By the way, aloha, kids. Anybody else is watching? I'm gonna try to do my second live without. I don't know if I made any mistakes yesterday, but I was. Let me put my glasses on so I can see if anybody's watching me. Yesterday I said I'd be, well, giving a response on anybody that was asking me questions. Somehow I missed that because I didn't push the right button, and I still don't know if I have. But we're going to go with what are we going to discuss today? I've got so many things, so many stories. Where would I start? Well, it has to be you make me sick. And why would I say that? I say this. We can make ourselves sick. It can be through emotions. It could be through our belief system. It could be our when someone suggests something negative to us that we don't even realize that we can actually bring on sickness. And what is sickness? What is disease? It was told to me a long time ago, I guess when I was 15, disease is when you're not at ease. And a lot of us today are not at ease. We have a lot of fear. That's another way you can become sick. So, the very first time I remember I was capable of bringing on sickness to myself was when I was 6 years old in 1960. Ooh, imagine that. So what we found, hold on a second, I'm saying Uncle Martin, Lisa, Chandelier, and I'm seeing all these people here. I can barely read, but stick with me just a second. I was 6 years old, and it was during the time of, anybody remembers Leave It to Beaver? Leave It to Beaver was one of my favorites. Well, this episode, apparently that I watched, was, I believe, The Beaver Won't Eat. That one. I believe it was the fourth season, first episode. Beaver didn't want to eat his broccoli. No, that was a president that didn't like broccoli. Brussels sprouts. He would not eat his Brussels sprouts. And I believe offhand it was something about going to a football game. And if he wasn't going to eat his Brussels sprouts, he wasn't going to go to a football game. So then I think he promised he would, next time he had Brussels sprouts, he'd eat them. So it was serendipitous. I think the next day or so we went to a restaurant and had to eat Brussels sprouts. That's all I remember right now. But what I do remember is myself probably watching that subconsciously, because this is what happened to Uncle Martin. I was sitting at the table. Now, prior to this time, our family had liver and onions only once. When I ate it, I ate the liver and onions. I ate the liver and onions, and I said to myself, this is crummy. But I can't say that to your parents when you're eating the food put before you. You're supposed to bless your food, which I've always done. But I never really liked liver and onions at that time, but I didn't say anything. So in my mind, I said, there's no way in heck I'm going to eat liver and onions again. Well, lo and behold, it was maybe 6 months later. And, yep, guess what we had? Bacon, liver, and onions. And I got my braces on today. Hey, Kelly, fantastic. Uh, cool. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read this and still get a story across. I'm sitting at the table, and now we have liver and onions. So I said, I cannot eat the liver and onions. And my parents said, no, you've eaten liver and onions before. I said, yeah, but I'm allergic. I'm allergic to liver and onions. And they thought that was funny. They all laughed. But I was very serious. In my mind, I had made up, an excuse. I said to myself, if you're allergic to something, you don't have to eat it. Well, lo and behold, They didn't believe me. So what happened was I was told I wouldn't get any dessert. I didn't care. I mean, it was upside down pineapple with ice cream, but hey, I could pass on that. My parents, actually, my mom said, well, you really don't have to eat them. And then dad said, oh no, you're eating your liver and onions. And I think we all watched that Brussels sprouts thing with the beef. And that might have been the reason I was going to sit at that table until I ate my liver and onions. Well, everybody ate their dessert in front of me. I would get some if I ate my liver and onions. Everybody goes off to the living room. I believe they were watching Huckleberry Hound at that time. Maybe after that was Top Cat. Definitely the Flintstones. Whatever was going on, I was sitting at that table until nighttime. And I got mad. I got angry. I had hatred toward that liver and onions. I hated liver and onions. And I got so upset. I got so mad. I got so angry. I got so emotional. You know what happened? I had red dots all over my face, all over my arms. And when they came in and saw me, they said, oh my God, he must be allergic to liver and onions. And I said, what? What's the matter? And then they made me go take a bath because they thought maybe I got a hold of a red marker or something. And I had red dots all over my stomach, my legs, my back. I mean, it looked like chicken pox, measles, all those little dots on you. And, well, I went off to bed. I didn't eat anything that day, that night. And, well, when I woke up, it was all gone. All the red dots on the blotches on my body were gone. What I learned is with hatred, with enough emotion, with enough negativity, you can bring on sickness. I didn't bring on a sickness technically, like, but I did bring on all of the symptoms of a sickness. Now, when we realize that we do bring on, and that's what I'm saying. My second spiritual teacher, when I was 18 years old, I've had 4 spiritual teachers. Just the second one, Lee, he was able to do telepathic reading, teaching us how to know when the phone was going to ring. There were certain healing techniques. I don't want to go into all that right now, but we have a capability of many things that we're not taught normally. So what I found was when we really put our mind to something, it can be done. And that's why you want to be positive on the things that you think of rather than negative. Because what we think of will be brought around us. And it's sort of a law. And what else do we have here? Message held for review. Review messaging. Maybe show hide. No, I don't want to. Show. Another moderator handle this. Man, I just hope I can read this stuff when I'm all done. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I want to answer everybody, but I'm trying to get a story across to help somebody understand that we have things that we're capable of doing. That was the other thing. Lee had mentioned that we have endorphins. We have endorphins in our brain, which are basically so strong. They're 18 to 32% stronger than morphine. These endorphins are capable of doing many things and healings that we don't even realize. When we see that we have a capability, we only use 3% of our brain. Einstein used 4%, and he was a genius. Now they're saying we're using 10%. Unless something happened between in the last 30, 40 years, we started using 9% more of our brain, which if you look around, I don't think so. I think we're using still 3%. So there's like 97% openings for our brain to be magnified in a positive way or negative way. What it really comes down to is what you accept around you. You can have someone that suggests something to you. Oh, you're looking very pale today. Oh, you got 1 foot in the grave. Oh, yeah. And all of a sudden, I've seen people not look so well. And even I got one little fast story. I was in another job, and this guy, his name was Robert, and he was always smoking cigarettes, and we weren't supposed to smoke cigarettes, and he was always around a corner smoking cigarettes. So when we came in the room, this guy was probably body odor and cigarettes. We all said, no, I didn't say it, but they all said, you stink, get out of here. And then I kind of chimed in. It was negative. I said, hey, I see an entity going into your aura. He says, what? What are you talking about? And then he got this Lysol spray and he sprayed it all over. He says, how does it look now? I said, oh, no, you look a lot better now. Don't worry about it. And he didn't show up to work for 3 days after that. I'm just saying, that was very mean of me to do. And I worked with him later on, and we worked out things to where he became more positive and not so gullible to believe everything people were putting on him. He was that kind of guy. He accepted things too easily, as we all do, with fear and with, propaganda that we've been brought up with. Look, we all come in as a blank sheet of paper. A lot of us drank a lot of they call it forgetful soup. And some people went for seconds on the soup. I don't think I went for seconds, but because of my memory that I have, of past lives and also just this lifetime alone. I remember when I was 22 months old. In my past episodes, I've talked about that. I don't want to rehash, but I got some more stories on that. We all have a capability of remembering, is what I'm saying. And when we start seeing our potential and putting it to use, we're going to be a whole lot better in helping ourselves and other people. And that's what it comes down to. We just don't go out and start helping people. We have to work within ourselves, get ourselves straight. We can't be like a floor mat. I hear these women saying, oh, he just takes advantage of me. I have all this love. Well, yeah, that's because all the love, we have three things. We have power, wisdom, and love. And if we have all three of these in balance, that's when we do some remarkable things. When we only have power and wisdom and lack love, that's when the problems happen. And I believe that's what did happen at Atlantis, which I got some stories on that for you. Atlantis being, let's start just 10,000 years ago, but they had three epic destructions, and the last one was about 9,500 years ago. Plato talked about it, and many other books talked about how, well, it is coming up now in Bimini, and we'll go into Atlantis another time. I'm just saying, you make me sick. It's not someone that makes you sick, it's yourself that makes you sick, and you can't blame other people on it. It's what you've recognized as a truth, maybe, and you find out it isn't, or a belief system. Again, fear, suggestion, all these things come into play. So to this day, I don't like liver and onions, but I do know that we do bring our illness upon ourselves. We do it. I'm going on to 13 minutes. I'm going to keep this one shorter because I went 20 minutes yesterday, and what I found was the retention is like 8 minutes for most people. So those that have lasted this long, I am grateful. Tomorrow, I'm going to do another episode. I'm trying to think of what it could possibly be. I got so many stories. I guess it'll stay with first grade, since I just talked about this first grade that I was in, bringing sickness on myself. Tomorrow will be the first taste of prejudice. Yeah. We either take prejudice and we go with it, we accept it. It's very subtle, and I'll just tell you this. It started with a nun. I was in Catholic school. Yes, I was an altar boy, no negative stories, but this is way before that. So it was basically, it was my first day in first grade. So there you go. She made me, I'm going to give you a heads up, she made me Saint Martin. Okay, that's all I'll say about that. And then when I got home, what Dad did when I opened up the door and I saw something remarkable in the middle of the living room, right? That'll be the two little short ones for tomorrow. So anybody wants another cute little story that's true, Tell your friends. Uncle Martin will be up and running at 5:30 tomorrow. That'll be Wednesday tomorrow. Today's Tuesday. And after Wednesday's Thursday. So I'm going to have 3 in a row, 4 in a row actually, of live with Uncle Martin. Okay, until we see each other again, be well. God victory. Aloha. How do we turn this thing off? There we go. Are you sure?